Welcome to Kippy C Math! Today, we're going to write 4-digit numbers in words. We talked yesterday about what the numbers look like when they get to the bigger place values. And one of the things that we noticed is that the models start to repeat. We have the ones, tens, hundreds, and then we have the 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s. It would be a lot if every time I wanted to say a number, I had to say out all those place values. 100,000, 10,000, 1,000, 100, 110, and 1, right? Like, I wouldn't want to have to say that for this number. And so we take shortcuts to name these words. And the shortcuts have to do with how the system itself is built. This is true for every number system around the world, and every civilization over time has had their own special ways to name numbers based on their number system. For example, the Yoruba in Nigeria use a base 20 system. And so the way they name their numbers is all related to 20. If you can see, this is the word for 20 here. And you can see all of these numbers are named in relation to 20. The 16, the word for it in Yoruba is 4 from 20. 17 is 3 from 20. 18 is 2 from 20. And 19 is 1 from 20. When they say 100, they actually say 20 5 times. And it goes on, all related to the 20 that they use as their foundation. Since we have a base 10 system, all of our language is in relation to 10. 13, 14, 15. The teen is another word for plus 10. And later we start to use TY as the shortcut for groups of 10. When we think about our place value blocks, 1,000 becomes a new base because it looks like the same model as we had before, and it becomes the foundation for naming the next set of numbers. That's why all of these values have what I like to call the same last name: 100,000, 10,000, 1,000. And actually, thinking of it a last name could help us figure out how to say it. There are so many ways that people share names or don't share names in different families. In my family, I had a different last name than every adult that I grew up with. And in some families, everyone has the same last name. Every family can be different. But the reason I like to bring up the Smith family is because they help us figure out a different way to say the last name when everyone does have the same last name. You see, we could say Will Smith, Willow Smith, Jaden Smith, or we could say it Will, Willow, and Jaden Smith. And just say the last name for the end, since they all do happen to have the same last name in this case. That's kind of how it is with numbers. Instead of saying 100,000, 10,000, 1,000, we just put all that together. The whole big family, 111,000. Do you see how we save the last name just for the end because it applies to everyone there? That's for the thousands. Some people are so famous that they don't even have a last name. We know them just by their very first name, right? Beyonce, Jay-Z, Blue Ivy. We just say their first names. They don't need any extras. That's kind of how it is for this part of the model. We just say it what it is. 100, 110, 1, or in this case, a 10 and a 1 make 11, so we say 111. But it's so famous, it doesn't need a last name like the thousands did over here. It can get a little bit confusing to name it from a model. So let's see what it looks like when we already have it written together in digits and talk to our special guest.
Hi.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm Mrs. Taylor. I'm the principal at Spring Academy. Welcome.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having us talk to you about math today. This is amazing.
Of
Miss
course.
Taylor, we're wondering, how do I write the number 123, comma 456? How do I write that properly, in
Oh,
words?
yeah, that was tricky, huh? Well, here's the first thing we have to do, guys. We've got to draw a place value chart and get those numbers in there. So we would put our 6 in our ones place, our 5 in our tens place, our 4 in our hundreds place, our 3 in our thousands place, our 2 in our 10,000s place, and our 1 in my 100,000s place. So tricky. So
Awesome.
now, once I've got those numbers in my place value chart, I want to circle everything with thousands, and that's everything before the comma, and read it like a 3-digit number. So it'd be 123,000.
Got it.
Then I would circle everything after the thousands, which is a comma, and read it like normal. So that would be 456. So let me read the whole thing together for you, okay? It would be 123,456.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Of course, anytime you need help.
Sometimes you're also going to have to do this in reverse, where they give you the words. You still use a place value chart. Ones, tens, hundreds, 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s. Now the key here is to underline the value words. And in this case, there's one most important value word, which is thousand. Thousand is that comma. Thousand is indicating that first family that all have the same last name. So everything before the thousand gets put before the comma. 920. I'm going to put 9 in the hundreds place. 20 is 2 tens. And what do you think I'm going to put in this spot right here? What do you think I'm going to put in the 1,000 spot? I put a 0 because it didn't say anything about 1,000s or 2,000s or 3,000s or those single digit thousands. Then I look after the thousands, it's just 4, and I put the 4 in the ones place. It didn't say 400, it didn't say 40, it said 4. And so in these empty spots, I have to put zeros. Now here's the really important thing I want you to keep in mind. Look at my number 920,004. I'm going to move some of these words. If I switch just those two words, it still looks so similar, and now it's a completely different number. It is not the same, and it's not written the same. Because now, here's my 1,000, and the only thing in the thousands family is 900. That's the only thing that would go behind the comma. So it would go here, and these would all be zeros. That's what 900,000 looks like. And 24 would be together in the family without a last name. That would go here, 24. And we put a 0 in the hundreds place. So just because the words look kind of the same doesn't mean that you can put those numbers kind of where you want. We learned that the place tells us the value, and the value tells us the place. And now we're seeing that the name tells us the place and the value. Yay for your super brain! You are using those words. Great job.